This episode of Jiu-Jitsu Café Podcast is brought to you by BJJ Connections, connecting BJJ practitioners and athletes all over the world, including lifestyle, competitions, and much more. Follow BJJ Connections on social media for their amazing content. They are in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And this episode of Jiu-Jitsu Café Podcast is also brought to you by Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything. The famous gi brand in the UAE and Middle East. Also, they are all over Europe and shipping worldwide. Cervical Kimonos. Action is everything.
You are now tuned in to this week's episode of our podcast. Today we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. By sharing our collective expertise, we will show you how to harness, control, and use your own skill set to achieve ultimate success and live the life you want. And now, please welcome your host.
Thank you very much, Rafe. I'm Carlos Almeida, BJJ 3rd degree black belt. And our guest today is one of the most reputed coaches in the peak performance area and health specialists in his country. Have been working with people for over 13 years. First in the field of human resources, and then in the space of coaching, speaking, and helping people break through their physical and mental barriers to become the best versions of themselves. He has a website, run a blog with the objective of simplifying peak performance strategies including nutrition, sleep, recovery, peak performance psychology, behavior modification, health, and fitness. Also, develop online courses while running live workshops and seminars and working one-on-one in group coaching environments with the key clientele. An author of the book Rewired for Weight Loss, entrepreneur, martial artist, and most important for me, a coffee lover. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today, Jay Parekh.
Hello, everyone. We are here again with a Jiu-Jitsu Café podcast. And as you know, today my super guest is Jay Parekh. How are you doing, Jay?
I am doing fantastic, Professor. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for accept my invitation.
The pleasure is all mine. It's a privilege to be on your show.
Okay, great. Jay, I actually like to starting the podcast asking the people the origins, the childhood and teenager time. For the people who listen us, knows and start to contact with my guests. Can you do that for us?
I would love to. So, Professor, I don't think we've ever really spoken about, my childhood. And, we met with Team Relentless when when you were there teaching us. And, I've been training over there for the last, about 4 years now. And, the reason, in fact, that I got attracted to martial arts is because of the experiences that I've had in my childhood and in my teenage years. So I've always been somebody, since childhood, I was always weaker, as a child compared to other people, other kids, other boys, and I was always bullied. And I had very bad immunity. I didn't really take care of my health very much, and always had a slightly difficult time, growing up. And I've always had a burning desire inside of me to be strong, to be able to take care of myself, to be able to protect the things that are near and dear to me. And my journey into martial arts actually started with karate when I think I was about 12 years old. In fact, that's when I went to Australia for the first time to compete in an Asia Pacific tournament. And that's when my love affair with martial arts started. And I've always had like this thought in my head, why am I so weak? Why am I so small? Why am I so bullied? Why do I fall sick so easily? What's wrong with me? And but instead of maybe shying down and kind of accepting that circumstance, I really wanted to change it. And since childhood, I've been after that. I've been working towards that to become a man that I can be proud of. Because for me, my only male role model growing up was myself. My father, I mean, he's been there, but he's had his challenges, and we've never seen eye to eye. So I've had to kind of depend on myself for that. And that's been my childhood.
Oh, great, great. I can understand. I can get your point. Also, I had a student here around 10 years ago from Kids BJJ, and he also had a lot of problems, a lot of issues on his childhood. To imagine, he still pee on his bed at 11 years old. So
Wow.
after 1 year and a half to playing with us, his mother came and talked to us after a session. I guess he is already yellow belt at that time. No. He is a gray belt.
Wow.
And she started to crying by positive emotionally, because she said, he's another kid right now. The jiu-jitsu really improved his mental toughness. The BJJ really be him strong kid, no strong by getting a lot of muscles or anything like this, but to be mentally prepared to all challenges, and this become my really gift. And then I start to keep motivate him. And I guess we met each other like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, before this pandemic situation happens. And he reminds me, because now he's a grown man, I didn't know himself. And he said, "Oh, hello, professor, I'm here." I said, "Oh, how are you doing?" Blah blah blah. Man, it's priceless. It's priceless. So of course, I'm not with you on that time, but I can understand a little bit which kind of things you pass over.
I mean, jiu-jitsu is such a beautiful sport, and that's exactly what it does. It teaches you how to accept an uncomfortable situation, because sometimes when you're, in a difficult position and you're getting mauled by the other person, and you have no option but to accept, keep your cool, and do your best, and use your technique. And that's exactly how it is in life. Sometimes, life is just on top of you and it's giving you a hard time, and you have to accept. You can't resist, because if you resist, you'll get hurt. Just like in jiu-jitsu, if you resist, you'll get hurt. You
Yeah.
have to accept.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, bro.
And I
Absolutely
and I
agree.
and I feel like you have so much more to teach me in that regard, because you've been doing this for, I think, more than 22 years. And I just can't wait to get back on the mat and get you back over here with us. But when I first started working on my body, I was just 15 years old, 14 years old. And I remember I went to the gym, and we have the trainers over here. They will write a program for you, and you are supposed to follow that program. So, for the first 1 or 2 months, I was given machines to work on. And then after that, for the first time ever, my trainer, he told me to do push-ups. And I remember, this is a very clear memory for me, and something very similar happened. I went down and I said, okay, now I'm going to do push-ups. And professor, I could not even do one push-up. It's my stamina, it's my power, whether it is, jujitsu, martial arts, my mindset. I was going to work on it all to be the best version of myself. And that's I think my journey actually started from there, to kind of become everything I can be.
Right. And also, I was listening your podcast, and you really give me a huge example of mindset. Because I'm actually on next month I will be 22 years practicing BJJ with maybe one or two gaps only because of surgeries, but nothing really big. And I practice every day, Sunday to Sunday, Sunday to Sunday. And the people said, "Man, you'll never be tired or injury or something." I said, "Yes, of course." But that's my love. How could I stop this if I didn't broke something really big, or if I want to do something. And then became this quarantine times, and it's really bad, man. It's really bad. I really miss BJJ, not just drills on my home, or do some moves with my son or even my daughter, because it's not the same. It's not what my body needs. But
Yes.
I do. It's only this kind of things we can do on this COVID time. Okay, I will do. But it's really difficult to our mind to adapt on that matter, because BJJ was part of our life for so long, and then it's like, okay, they cut out my two legs and two arms and said to me, okay, run. It's no makes sense in my mind.
It
So
is.
when I was listening your podcast, you really give me a amazing advice. Thanks for that, by the way.
Thank you so much. I mean, I agree with you in the sense that it's just all about the mindset. And when we're practicing jujitsu, I feel that we go through so much pain, in a way. But it's a good kind of pain. It's a pain that helps us grow. And I think we're missing that feeling of growth, because the pain isn't there, and we're not overcoming that on a daily basis. We're not overcoming our injuries and working things around and pushing ourselves, and using our brains to kind of solve this jujitsu puzzle. Because for everyone who maybe is not has not done jujitsu live with another human being, actually rolled and sparred with another human being, it is a problem to be solved. And although you're kind of in a physical fight and altercation with another person, they're resisting with their full force and you're resisting with your full force. There is so much, I would say, intellectually problem solving that's involved. And when we're not doing that, we're not growing. We're not using the same brain muscles. And I think that's one thing that we miss so much. I know I do for sure. And it's a shame, but I think it's just like how in jiu-jitsu we adapt. This is a difficult time. Life has us down. But if anything, I think people in the jiu-jitsu community can come out of this with flying colors, because we know how it works. We know how to come out of a bad situation and still turn it around and make it happen for us.
Exactly. And if you give me this permission, I want to add something, because many people having asked me, okay, you said you want to stay cool under pressure, cool under pressure. What that really means? Then I start to explain this additional thing. Diamonds will be making under pressure, and you need to feel this symbolism to understand. It's like the diamond have some kind of feelings, and then you smash and get better, and smash and it's get better. That's what the BJJ made for us and doing for us day by day, and then people start to understand properly about this.
That's brilliant, Professor. Actually, I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that and I'm going to use that when I talk to people, because that is such a excellent analogy, and it's absolutely how it works. We under pressure is when we become diamonds. You're not going to become diamonds by being comfortable and living a cushy life.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Amazing. That's exactly it, right? Like the human body is like we're not we the years of we've had, I think, what, 500,000 years of evolution, you know in with this genetics, with the body, with the mind that we have right now, and we are not built to live a comfortable life. We thrive when we step out of our comfort zone. We thrive when we push ourselves. That's because our ancestors did not have it as easy as we. Like, we live a very comfortable, cushy life. Our ancestors had to fight for every meal. They were hunters, and they would go out, and if they wouldn't hunt, then they're not going to survive, and they need to protect their tribe with from rival tribes, and it was a very stressful environment, and that's where we come from. That's our origin, and we're not living in accordance to that anymore, which is why we've become so soft, and we need to get back to that, because that's where the progress lies. That's where we grow as as individuals and as a humanity, you know. So I think that's what I think martial arts and jiu-jitsu helps us tap into that part of ourselves. If I don't follow my dreams now, when am I going to when will I do it? Because I'm already 32, and I mean, that doesn't seem like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will say, oh, that's young. It is young, but it isn't like, a lot of people, the average life expectancy in the world is, I think, 72, which means I'm closing halfway there, you know and it's a fact, and people need to look at their lives and see if they're okay living the way that they're living. If they're okay being mediocre, then that's fine, no judgment there. But if you're not, what are you doing? Do something, and change. It's uncomfortable, it's difficult, it is not going to be all roses, and it will be difficult to do, but do it, because you have only one life, and that's what jiu-jitsu teaches us as well. Like, you gotta, if you're not gonna go for it, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose the match, and you're gonna lose at life if you don't go for it. So that's the way I think. My life is my mat, in a way, and I have to do it. I don't have a choice.
Perfect, perfect. I really like some expression of what Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan, of course, right?
Of course, of course.
And he said, if your life was a movie, who will be the hero on your own movie?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's perfect.